Entim Goba say just Enra and Israel and Iran based Omoko.
Okay.
Very simple. Israel since gaining independence, me find say onyan recognition from United States or your man. There was this issue ane hangi. Israel. Ne state mienu. And I say man be a daho. Arab for fan, Jewish for fan. Nti ebe find say Israelis for fan and a Palestinians for fan. But the bar say or more recognize woman Truman time. Na anka was say ebia or recognize the two countries, you know. Say obia your mind, so your man. And Kobanisa obia him the mind of Truman, then the American president. Koba say my Israelis or the Israelites, or come on so I recognize as a state.
Okay.
And then the Koba say Palestine for no so no. Or state and now we state. It is Israel for chichi omo mind. I fancy me a country.
Okay.
Chichi omo ho join UN. Chichi countries need be unrecognized because not some of the countries of the world were saying that I say you recognize omo mienu.
Okay.
Sa entawantawano na awo from that time from 1948. A belly do bedroom baby say Israel for say okay sa na tell the Palestine for kwano assassin kwano ye near their moon free ho. Ebedru baby a Palestine force which I said in the olden days historically biblically momo ko ya mo Egypt no o ko nso ankwaso mo ba ne wa ha te mo ba back ne ya ne man baby and indeed the story is nyina ya nuafo Israeli Arabs Israelis especially the Palestine hono nyina ya nuafo Arab ni bi o open so o sasa do bia no o the Jewish language no and I said the Aramaic no and obia so a onso so eye Jew ni bia no most of them ni nyina so te Arab just say onka and that word is obi ni nua a nyina wo different countries but on the scale no nyina asase ba ko so no more and where we are now no politics and this anyama we buy say wo the whole Arabian Peninsula the Middle East no America I want to any business kase America only too much our European so and any business too much over Europe also. Nemo business pa American ye any oil trading in Yamanima Middle East war. No also who say Middle East war the strongest ally. English country our Middle East here bakope. Israel. Enti a honor omwono and American say na downfall ni nua ni bibiano no. And the sanya man na hono and the bed build say in the 1964-67 mohono. Arab for no Palestine for no ye be new obi to say yes Arafat ye be do ni mreso no and no say there be say ye ne ayenkura Israeli passport ye so a Palestine passport ye ni bi Israel say me recognize you as a nation United Nations American force there be ye mamunye country munye nru ho but do population and no mukura any omudodo any bibia so ye bia they can also function as a state but Oma Makwain and the UN Yasia Mamon Kahun and Namuna Palestine Ombeti PLO. But before PLO no na a organization back Palestinian Popular Liberation Front and anewo ho. Omo de say no me a nationalist Palestinian say Israel for krano omutim no mon transase no so. Then you must ask omonko. And no ne didi mo a omo be so share the Entebbe raid 1976 more baby no sa group that na nye the Arafat but na yes Arafat nso so wo ho woni Israel abenya ntokwa ne friend Israeli Arab war Palestine war no no makoko bia enti na akwa de say mo brande ni na world order wiase brande say Palestine so no omo rebels omo terrorists and the brande yes Arafat a hodo nam fi said the world did not do it well. And Tibetwa so from Benjamin at time, ABC Goldamaya time no. Israeli Prime Minister so by another donor believe say Israel the state. Palestine here recognize Omo. But Palestine didn't have anything. Only police, only post office, only airport, only your friends port, only BBR. So it has been a problem say Omo sorry they cross the strip no akwa ye adwuma e Jerusalem Israel almost more other part of Hebron and other places no koye adwuma no ma back until they were seen more or less as Israel for omo. This has been the position and no didn't talk no and they start here and I Arafat obeye bia until prime minister after prime minister prime minister after prime minister obiaba onene beko onene beye but ebedu Israel omo parties bia mapei ene omo independent party ene omo ye Kadima ene omo ye Mina na Kadima ni ye Mina no Benjiro party no de ban mapei ene na independent party no ono na conservative no ntini amase nti ono ye Arafat mo ebe ye problems ni bia fine nti ebedu time Israel so benya Labour Party ene ebenya Alignment Labour ene ebenya Yes Atid ene eba benya Likud na Likud for no omne ye Israel hardliners so omde yampene so but Labour for no leading from Golda Meir our tries for best start peace say yenye country ni mienu no bi antran baby no eno omantia say odi im say 5 years omi eyi no if we go the Maya time no the next Israeli prime minister or buyer or yenadwen say obe send obe endman any Yitzhak Rabin and Yitzhak Rabin ni de ono ne Yesarafat a handshake or the Oslo Accord
anka asumwie beba
forever and what say under the presidency my best in the history of America was Clinton is Clinton no broke side deal no ama omu nyina akohia and almost ba Washington as I be share be have a handshake and don't prepare bibia and to the best of everybody in the world understanding that two party state no ayejuma more or less na no so Israel for brand Arafat so a rebel Israeli defense no mo be kunu omba Tunisia how cry say and come ba be kunu yes Arafat generals no be kunu mo Tunisia hamamet hamamlef and on the team did yes Arafat there no it was seen as ordained send so be liberating and call for and obenya the marching partner no so te omo course na se Yitzhak Rabin and the Rabin ni Arafat yes peace no na ebedu omo election time ama Rabin be rolo that time na they were preparing the two states Israel one state and na yenhu ba bi free a hardliner, a 25-year-old boy, Yigalamia, who was a law student. I was in Israel in that city at that very day at the Takanamba Gaziba Bia, a unity place in our Tel Aviv. November 4th, 1995. I was in Israel. So, Shababia Obia our campaign days, our platform, Shimon Peres or Ehud Omet wo ho, Ehud Barak wo ho, Ariel Sharon, Israel mpanyimfo nyina ho. It was something like a rally leading to the next day na nkomo ba be dey. Omo ba be ma Palestine for anya hoto. Meanwhile that time no, na yes Arafat Israeli Defense Force no there. Oma keji no kra oma no kwan emani pie because they did the hardliners no omo so omo mpene. Yegaramia who was in the pool of people and I said a war campaign as and rally as and let me shoot you from the public. Emma Wankumobia Negan was able to take Yitzhak Rabin down and instantly killed him.
Wow.
And Owuyano that rally no everything grounded. Like I said, everything I Clinton as a reverse.
Yes.
Until that time no it was Labour and Labour Party of Israel no and na until na omo prime minister we na onwie until Shimon Peres na oye no foreign minister at the time no on the be take the mantle Shimon Peres no eba be call just 1 year and na Likud party for no and because American Republicans and I say the Nationalist Party no almost sorry until was say Shimon Peres try say Uncle Bema also beto asunan ko maye no and 1 year time omo call Israeli Knesset omo cabinet no omo vote out and Bibi Netanyahu obaye 1996 obedi 3 years o call ye no and Ehud ibaye Ehud Barak buy no any Omet buy and was sabe bim 2009 from 2009 to 2016 osa wo hosa bibi Netanyahu na do mo ye ne say Likud party anytime a Likud bebe bia no say prime minister person transo cha o yusu the fight with Palestine because Israeli parliamentary and the national law no, whenever Israel the trigger of alarm in the air said the country will raise the security bar now you can't have any elections until Likud for no bar they create that kind of emergencies say country ni air kun and I want to kwa sana tie dia enya dia yebetimi akọ until no na today's Bibi Netanyahu or the free power o free 1999 kwaya na oloba saba 2013 or the tina hwa but let us not forget something one him for anything ntokoya bedu eche say you free ikubi Hamas Hamas no eye omo branding as terrorist organization but that terrorist organization no na nye Israel na no ne ko Hamas was created by the Israelis themselves. Israeli intelligence they created Mossad for they created Hamas within Palestine. Say omun frustrated Yasser Arafat. Say yeah, ultimately the independent for the Palestinian people.
Wow.
Until Hamas for start in 1987 na establish Hamas no more rather than a radical group be Israel for the training woman no de Yasser Arafat.
Ti atamfo abehye yemu. E na omaye omo say omo kan ye ho. E na omo san oppose
within.
Yeah.
And to be bebusa say bunka no ne amra na wasio no Yasser Arafat didn't have that money and that don't need that technology on besa Israel is na ye ma wo nti no mun so na timi make sure say Yasser Arafat enya independence emu na Yasser Arafat ebewu ye no and Israel for say Hamas will give in what you say so okay ya na team ya na tetemu ade na ya hwehwe ne nsaka entom kranka say independence no afido mo mpe so a turn around by the Hamas no and no so a turn against Israel said there be ya kra de hia no che Yasser Arafat no papa eno ne from 19 it is Hamas any Israel and tokwa no
wow
whilst this was going on at the same agency the same team no and no de kote Hezbollah Emma so kote Lebanon no so fight say ya independence of Emma wow. And this is a case, a clear case. Omo the kreti, sadie no. And Bibi Netanyahu, wabidi ade 2 times a call. Ada Ehud Barak monene yimo Ehud Omet mo aba eko. But enam say Likud baby and tokwa. Omni Hamas kumani di prolongo. And de Netanyahu saba 2022. But let us not forget. Before 2022 you be starting nanko obeko jail because no aye corruption practices be in 2016 mo nanko de ni ko jail na otimi nya your friend is saying onya parliamentary approval once Israel ko parliamentary so we shift it omi ni per 15 ko one side the crown say ye switch prime minister and okonya alignment ahasia ebaka chess alliance and otimi ya de ebeye obeye prime minister no and ono ye na dwen se wanya nko jildi a eso otimi try na oma Israelites no say no or ye bema and or this 30 year and the start was 30 year no na oye amenesi say ne brother no mi enuafo mienu Yonahan Netanyahu ana Bibi Netanyahu Yohan no ana na epanyin no no na in 1976 time Israeli your friends the Palestinian Liberation Force for no omo kidnap Israelites ewo Air France so edum kogu Uganda no ne brother ni Kubi ona na ye the Israeli commando ona na head nipa 103 rescue no ne brother ni mo the commandos no kwa no onu kwa ni wiye into 48 years oko celebrate buy no na ke say ni bre no aba because claim say Palestine for na ye ma ni brother no you could me one na nye Palestine for no kwa na 2 Palestinians and 2 Germans Wilfred Bozer enu kuma na kuma na yoba omu na ni omu kwa ye sade no Israelis commandos kom tim kum omu enu omu kum Ugandan army 45 what I then say and the brother na brewa bi ananko mu ye wo rescue no no ne brother no or celebrating no 48 years from 1970 any last year meant no celebrate year no they started Hamas in Tokwan.
Wow.
But what they then say enti premeditated predestined
okay.
Name generally Iran comes in say Hezbollah Hamas and your friend say PLO Omuchire said all the terrorist branded rebellion activities are called within the Arabian Peninsula no say Iran and the mom training Iran the mom weapons Iran the mom but that is not even the case only meaning say we should say there was a time Iran in Iraq ebenya war Iran war
Iran Iraq
yes Iran Iraq war on some bakunye controversially no na American support to Iraq at a point na Israel support to Iran na omu yes anti Iran Iraq war no Saddam Hussein eko gase with nuclear eko shi Iranians and Iranians who bent a sa nuclear proliferations no omu nuclear challenges no e buy enti wohwem at that time Saddam Hussein no was American ally na American for penasem against Iran yangu 10 of event santo kwane be die no ema Iran ni Iraq kura no ebe solve wo muntem kakra ema asundue bai ena feel na koba said the Republic of Iran Arab for ni nyina ne American for ama Arab for na believe say terrorism rebellion any dash Al-Qaeda ni adadinga Iran for and a support whereas umu blame Saudi Arabia say Saudi Arabia and a T Al-Qaeda other than America for anko bomber and as omni Al-Qaeda anko but Iran there almost man say yesum na ma Hezbollah training yesum na ma Hamas training yesum na say na kese sa feed into the mind but idea na say nuclear programs and Iran ekoso in Iran kwan na nuclear warheads onye bi ne de nko onye developing way Israel na mo no nuclear heads ni bi France will be Paris will be UK will be London will be Russia will be China will be India also will be Japan but will be Japan or one there a lot of countries are South Korea North Korea mo nyina warheads ni bi and will be babu say one day determine say who there wo pen ni crowd no there wo dey try but we pen ni there wo dey try enye this is what we are and I'm not so and say American government Obama and the Bush nyina brandy Iran say or support to any nuclear warehouse no so benya nuclear na or the bidding some money and na Iran so ampa so makan way back in the 70s way back in the 80s Palestine Israeli Arab war no na Iran on Kahum Israeli Arab war in 1976 you know Israel oka Jordan oka Egypt and oka Syria bomu and no mo kun 6 days and this one Minecraft in 450 6 days and no ma American President Jimmy Carter on the Walter Mondale the vice you know omu the team broke up peace 1976 and 78 to 79 no and no year the Camp David Accord and ma kwama Egypt in Israel talk try in Israel no on Egypt na no moko and is do na ko on Syria no ko and tokwa no how say Iran crowd on men peninsula anymore on no Persian Gulf and we so Arabian peninsula anymore eh then na hon and tokwa ne ba like I say Oma accuse you say omo support to
but from where you sit you know accusations a false Anna could it be right true or false
whether it is true or not there are a lot of organizations that were branded ANC was branded as terrorists SWAPO Samnojuma Namibia was branded Samora Machel Mozambique was branded Congo are you getting me you can name them all of them branded as what so be no independent be but on Iran they are just being accused say or ye nuclear heads and ye maninye into omra table beginning no say no e no ani chrome or a sovereign nation o makwama international atomic o ma ho ma bibia na o ye ne sa de putu hwe e ma ne hu ye hu say bi kwa na nuclear heads waye It is not different from the Saddam Hussein. President Clinton and Tony Blair accuses Saddam Hussein or nuclear. Obakai. International Atomic Energy for no so cry say we believe we develop we but time American folk kromon say banchi kra no oni bi ho and di kutu Saddam based on the same nuclear suspicions. And the same nuclear suspicions no Iran say yes one we do oye ne dia but ne dia no for peace. Now enya nwanwa say International Atomic Agency Europeans brokered the deal between the Americans, Israelis, and the world, and United Nations. After Bama Kwama Maba Kruma Besha say, your nuclear Nibia. As we speak, I know, Omo Krumho. And then the Iranians say, Yama Kwayana Minana, and the program in Yamahu. And then China Bibia Banam Kramunti Makasampa, and Bibi say anyhow. But President Trump, the first part, I'll buy after Obama, no, or buy no. Or try say obey the that time when you're aggressive because one no only Bibi Netanyahu we are no problem. He had a problem with him because I said one American committee troops and support Israel over the Iranian affair. And the turn around time now, no, isn't it surprising? Say the same person now can say only Netanyahu any problem no now no he's in the good books of Bibi Netanyahu. Netanyahu branding say Trump is the best president of the United States of all times. Wow. And he say politics. Politics is saying yes, Israel or see ni fear our region mu ni fear nyina Israel any Iran ni fear ni nyina say Hezbollah no on ne kon ne weapons ikura no ombehe weapon nyina na made in Israel Iran ombehe weapons nyina Hamas na made in Iran and to feel say Iran a threat and no decided say obokwa hit on Iran. Wow. But whilst doing this na UN General Assembly
yes
assembly da ho awo muka European Union no muka assembly
yeah
enti surprisingly our President Trump oye ne campaign no or can say oba Iran would never have nuclear but no be any intentions any adwena ne di achi and to the quite as he said Hamas renewed clashes escalations with Israel no and omu started say omu pushi the agenda on Iran say on submit it but meanwhile Iran say ayi forces will chrome ha ayi into a program no munim de ekoso overnight I will be any makwan Israel for trigger say Israel trigger no who take the first speech of the president of Trump of America or say Israel on the right so defending home on the right so taking care of Bibiana it's seen say a threat to Israel but American can home American mem we are not the same person like I said name mum say etu na Israel abetutu ato abekunkum generals no say Iran your mistake no retaliate dia American BTS from what does it mean?
Now say what take size
what dey carry we did that and I will share the extent of the intelligence course our operation Israel for quantum it is not possible. The Israeli Mossad, yes, they are the one of the fastest in the world, smartest in the world. Yeah, Oma infiltrate already Iran, Omo. And Iran for suspicion say, Ebia IAEA for no, International Atomic Agency for no. Omo call for, and Omo a buy, Omo you see Israelis na buy as a decoy, and the team ma Omo because all the bombardments in Israeli precision. Okay. Because we should be generals one after the another, Republican Guard, the National Republic, the head of security, and if you're near mom destroy day one, then President Trump said, no, Mama will 2 weeks. Mon comply, and then be no comply because they're already having discussion with the European Union, which American can want to comply and any day. Only an agent say, okay, 2 weeks I want to be woman complier, obey say. I feel Obisu Sabi, Usukra weapons kakanya to tutu ba. Also started say, Omso gidi. Then that one in the resuscitate America anger. But the world was expecting CBA President Trump, the American system, Obeko Congress, to seek blessings from Congress or Kokon. But already in that Congress, because it's the American system. But at the same American system, no say Mahwan Kwan say, oh, you're president of United States of America or executive order on chain to go to Congress.
Yeah.
In Tisania man or yen the time a Congress upon.
Yes.
Majority as it. The same thing Obama okukum Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
They do it outside the range of Congress. In the emergency session, crown
as a war majority of parliament.
What you say?
My pono, and I don't know.
That's just say. Or ma take a decision, no, and Americans so they could join here or no ama situation, no.
Indeed, I say America, no. Why ye? They say Iran no on Timini America so. There be on Timmy. One day were form.
One day no, I will form in two things.
Yes.
And one day I was on so here support.
Yes.
Allies. But the allies in no American force whom you lunatic governments. No? Russia, China, Cuba, Nicaragua, Pakistan, Iran, Ankasa.
Yes.
And your friends say North Korea, Cambodia, and side governments, lunatic. They will not. Russia, for instance, already know or one on hand are dealing. And Russia also say, or with the same powers of fighting materials, equipment, logistics, arms and ammunition, race, on the American forum.
Yes.
And so I against on the American race. Like I said, destroy me, let me destroy you. But then Russia also agree me said, United States move so or say friends of America.
Okay.
Either we are with us or you are not.
Okay.
Like you saw the pressure to Europeans and so. Or the pressure to Europeans in so. UK Odimika Beko. No matter how UK will condemn Americans' actions, say Basse a bad fight, say Iran, against one American fighter. UK Beko.
US
of course, Spain Beko.
Yeah. Germany.
Italy Beko. Germany co humanitarian on tutu. Holland co humanitarian on tutu.
Okay.
Switzerland obedi American chair on tutu.
Okay.
Poland odi American chair on tutu. Wow. Red Cross nations and now said Denmark, Scandinavia, they go. Ombedi as friends. Say be too much American, but because Second World War no, say na a friend say Hitler wipe or person wipe the whole Europe no. American for and a better UK ni France. Timidiji to be a fee say or your friends of the United States. America ko can talk or ko can be Iraq. Or no kwane kwaye a muya deno and a UK ko ka ho. A muya deno or call for the allies. Either you are with us or you are not. Italy me na ko kumbi. The same thing occur in Afghanistan. Inti bueno oka say Iran say or TS so no be kwa. All these countries in be kon ho one. Obey stress and you one. Two, superpower in the air. America say form nan ko mo konto kwa no. Say army on the street there. Ontimni Iran ko. Because US Marine no, they are not trained that much. Okay. So obeko omiye recovery. But before so me recovery no I making sure say the air force now will create the power, the firepower no. What destroy majority as or breaking o military bibia or jam o systems in term marine no betima ko a make headway. And the background fight na France for no betima ko bro America and the UK for no betima bro America. But America no on here ground fight because on find so jeni back ko kra ambesi form. Into only the concentration your air. I also now holding no because the modern day fighting technology. Yanku form. Yeah. And now Onyamano American folk sophisticated jammers no. Israel for is the best technological for defense equipment only ahead of every country in the world. And before say even Gromba call Iran no a Germany radar. The defense system in no a German. And you know Timmy call airspace pie quiet back to back year no. What about America? They are 2-3 times than the friends Israelis. Yeah. And the sign there. Iran better so yebi. And you say all to America to no on the Israel will concentrate because one on my America. Yes. And American force who said and yet true say Iran our weapon obitim there do United States. Yeah. Name of the weapon 1,500 miles obitim do Israel with coordinated
so who knows our head seen.
And the sign there American forces so edwom vessels akọ peninsula mu Our intercept or the drones in there. It is amazing, say. Now Oman underestimated the kind of drones and the number of drones that Iran fire.
Oh.
They have so much, but in the Israeli interceptors, and you American for the no. I want Peninsula Gulf no, and the yes and before say Iran by agency or Pejano, no man intercept. Yes, it be landed because so to 5 far interceptors in between catch by 3, maybe a 2 be a bell landed, and a 2 nuclear landing no. Omo try say ombe blown away, say enko the public space, and that is what actually is going on. But America and Israel, me can say, and tokwane a political. And then political a historical at the hodida. Name of the most important thing is in the business aspect of it. And talk a business. A business.
Okay.
United States a business. Meaning say in tuna omuto ICBM and the powerful papa. Any American government they yes and tune. A company, individual company in the producer. Sa individual companies and tokwa maya
onyeska
omutuo no ebia pale 8 years 10 years ntokwa bia ma, and these are technologists, these are engineers, these are high proficient people. The juma no be etua ne ka be $50,000 a month for 5 years and run so your production papa na etua se yanwe bombs ne yanwe ICBM yanwe mbajo dey say any jet fighters ni nyina no enye jet fighters a individual company mi na ye na ton ma wo mu until all this is fuse it e mani e fuse and the fuel and tokwa ne kire say ye won confo so so broke ye brokers of those weapons and to also be so say man chali mo man nko until you are looking at the business side of the fight. You are looking at the historical side of the fight and then the political side of the fight. There be a 20 there. This is not the first time. And American ankasa with that Israel no. One Iran enya exchanges. Our Gulf no Yemen ho. Time na Yemenis rebels Houthis for no ekoto to etuo ene etutu tuo bo USS Code 1 our Yemen Gulf ni mo ho no. Now America also responded Iran. Oma yesanya man exchange. But that was an enlightened note. And quite bigger escalation. George Bush time maybe see even Obama Krano Kakres now there was espionage action. Say Iranian yaba yimu amount to two kote machines in be go. But anya bigger. But this one the scale near big because among forces so ebenyeska.
Yes.
Omon benyeska companies are they use weapons. Drones now cost one drone. Say cost be $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. And your war Barisa Moses may be cost $2 billion. America the a B-22 bomber mono 30,000 pounds machine. And we could just assassin so. 30,000 pounds bomber no. We just say a one a year. So why dia one who scan echo machines echo at $2 billion one bomb echo $2 billion so much to 7 say no 14 billion and do Jesus say na company no abema to connect
that as obi oye fundaka no
bacho won kwa no pa no masiom trase no ma bompaye but no amu so te say ma me awu anu osu
o bompa say market mra o ma me
o kwa no pa o you do you friends amochi road wa so musa no mo bompaye but when one said daughter and farmer kumoton adaka no okofa ni part 2 what they say but no adaka no your friend say we ma me awakura no atwi ni so na bompaye na abon man end do over at the enti world order is a politics, is a business, and your friends a historical religion. Should be say I didn't know United Nations General Assembly. You were emergency sitting, Security Council. So they are working. UN criticize it. UK Kabi. Why now see where you one troop? UN team mobilize it. UN team for troops. UN team for say Yemen nipa nko Israel. Na onko stop the fight even with Israel and the Palestine. UN wa himfa. Palestine, Israel for so for more than 60 to 70,000 within about 6, 7 months, 8 months campaign. UN teaming for soldiers in Koho. UN for crown missions in our home. Okay, Oma Pamo Mama free ho. And Untino, Sir America walk away from the UN discussion table as a unilateral decision. Onun Kwani Israel na yo made. France and Kasai or Kasa or say Oma escalation on Kofom. But on Kasu Munyai. UK or say young go on the diplomatic table. Wankasu Munyanto corner. Japan, on any country or Asia or taught Iran oil more than any other country. But on no crown or say America has the right to defend themselves over what?
Over what?
But we are peaceful solution. How do
so
you
far
find
as a
peace?
Turkey for the na me kan Thomas kakra.
What's it saying?
Turkey for the no or say Turkey is deeply concerned about the possible consequences of the US attack on Iran's nuclear facilities.
Yes.
Which risk escalating the conflict to a global level. We call on all relevant parties to act responsibly, to immediately cease mutual attacks, and to refrain from steps that could lead to further loss of life and destruction.
Okay, so I know your friend in diplomatic language. Obeka. But what does it take Ibeka say? Also a big size of army.
Yeah.
And also Ben Persia ho. But the area countries in the Persian Gulf and also the Persian Peninsula no. Say Uzbekistan ho.
Yeah.
Tajikistan ho. Turkmenistan ho. Afghanistan ho. Azerbaijan ho. Armenia ho. And Sana waba the side, the edge of Syria.
Yeah.
Countries in our region. Emu hwan and waka say or kwako support Iran. Even if not anything other Persian phone. So ndom ye nipa ba. Obia mo ano. And now countries like say nyina attack him nyina no. Obia no obabua. Because say obia so mpeso ne America benya direct confrontation.
America na be world superpower.
And yes anya wa be wa ye no ho because after the 1945 war world war no only the collective the world and Odumba United Nations General Assembly 6th and 7th Avenue of America and was say yemra hania madwindwen ho so cleverly no ono no and a year recovery edu mu nyina baaye because at that time no say second world war na kana America no onka ho directly na nkonko ba bi o wona Europe but the koba say Hitler etima move or move to London or wipe the whole Europe no and the ma British for co involve United States ko provoke man here to say the German Hitler no na yes and American for trigger buy and when they came down and then they bet ma America on France and your friends UK it in Berlin esi hwa ye base all over Germany sovereignty America ne de ono na ye ho say okay and so ko be wiase no it superpower and no the man who superpower say me na me best
and na so a wiase wo no ba wie
and nyansa no doso and don't forget say ampa a multiracial nation and the ideas go into the American development in terms of technology no eso eno ma ye niam mebrebe na wo ma so no kwa mebrebe ma fa so de nya omusika and the money is there, the population is there, the but no nim the entokwa about first world war the second world war in America making sure say whilst Europe and other countries in no more rest now America develop race of weaponry race set in the future of any defense to no ka superpower na enye sika sem nko a why wadwen say oya mebe ababebo enu na oni Russia obia suro ni yonko and this entokwa abetima engage Russia Ukraine Russia US no enu na obeka say eye global but rather no Israel Iran enu no eye friend a regional war and there can be an escalation to be a world war. It is not possible. It cannot be a world war. It will be contained within the same region. Because this is not the first time. EBSC is contained within a regional war. And be a anchor because Obi Ntimi Goga said Iran and America na o support Iran tino. Say Togo support America there. Ghana also need Togo Koko. It will not get to that.
Yeah,
it was in the Second World War.
Yeah.
And I know yes, sir.
Okay.
They were doing that because now there were a lot of countries and land, protected areas, you know. Land, but now no, there is no even any law. Obi in population here 3,000, narrow alarm 5,000. In a country or on the water boundaries. Until then, our Babako Ghana independence over 68 years.
Yeah.
Britain team me fan say me kwa kokon into the machi is not possible. Into where is the world war?
I get you.
So there cannot be a world war, but a regional war. Oma na di yomu business.
All right.
Okay.
Enche yebe in under a few minutes, but away from war no. Na nse ne etiti hu say Trump de tabo beto aman bi so a omuntumi mba America. Ebi so nya no kure, ebi say no kure. Pacho, how true is that? Say especially Africa and Arabian countries be sounds asem na nenam wiem say Trump de tabo beto ebi kura de Ghana e shem. Pacho no kure be na wom sa.
Say there woman make a public statement.
Okay.
Why?
Okay.
And idea is a news out there in your secret.
Okay.
But share the near the requirement na and na obi baka say a funny kakra.
Okay.
Why? One is say or say one my times our country is 34 na Ghana a party no. Say yan share near citizens o ma apply visa at the ba. When the time so no ankwa or the Ghana or the better so.
Okay.
Obi be we say who tuwe anami tuwe na majin visa na mtukwa na mama. President mama fa ho be.
No e de hu be bia wombo.
Ghana fa ho be. 2 osa say country bia udin wom. So I na dwen so deporting nkofo for America. Na wa mie kwan amana mfa nkofo no ametu mu angu a meaning say so high plane no de nipa ba West Africa. Nigeria fo Togo fo obi obefan bi onye nipa tuntu an Africa bi obetimi dina shim se Ghana na se bi a country bi odin wa makwa amana mfa ma also kan ho. The point is that wonya mfa obi mai ene ya makwai enti adenti na ade kan ho. And if the world remembers Ghana need the one and the only African country American for non-titled citizens are from Guantanamo Bay prisoners. See a jiwomu. Ya jiwomu.
Okay.
Omu basis ya mamu kwai. And ye there and kenuomu ye very fine. And one wonders our list of nations or the Ghana count. Now let's look at it from the point. Countries be about so it's also a little bit because country be is Gabon. On population is not up to 1.5 million. Gabon no heaven air France and US. And the Gabon no de never count Gabon air day. Chad on America. Already no Chadians omunko. Eritrea America no issue. Somaliland on no issue. Cameroon what the woman in French Congo on any no French countries.
Ivory Coast.
La Côte d'Ivoire, Senegal, so no woman in France, no Senegal crowd there. Woman Denmark, Scandinavian and Senegalese, one they don't like America. Be a hobby to move. Niger do send no America. And to other countries now, he enlisted them because no I can't say or pursue or ye in diplomatic missions. And defeat some of the countries. But I find it strange is Ghana no, the whole ECOWAS, and America, higher command. Omu biggest embassy in Ghana no. Under President Kufuor. And this is what US embassy high command West Africa and Ghana. And then the Beba said, would the Ghana buy as part of it. It is all banners and now mission also by a day.
It's true.
And Tinemebu Oha, Nina politics.
But only say a bit my possible Anna Wakakeke.
From what President Trump do is he can in Yemen. It is very difficult to predict.
It's true. Because
also Israeli and Iran the Ukraine. Ubusana there be there yamfa hunshim. Yamfa hunshim Israel for affair. More me bet on one moon sorry overnight no. Or say as America a can. But don't forget say sa list of nations here also American. Or by no first 17 be. Cambodia, Burma, Myanmar. All countries be ebem, or the Somalia can or the Eritrea can at a point crown or the Djibouti and or the Ethiopia ebeka because omne Benamed Ahmed omne no a problem. what they say, or the countries, but wait 34 need the surprise 10. But then only African countries, say Caribbean forms or the Caribbeans in Bisu at the count. Now, does that mean say Europeans are America? Sao Tome and Principe. Look at a country like Sao Tome and Principe. Sao Tome and Principe, Portuguese, apart from Portugal, country be in Romco, we are saying. Nagana, how Croatia, Sao Tome, Principe, how much more America? But what is it? And the countries now listening on the bar, Dominican Republic, do I say, they find because or in our American continent. Syria, of course, one in no problem that they say no, almost pro-American governments is Syria. Minimum how or this Syria as so ebi abeka ho but what they then say and the list need there why but so obi beka say onye no obi anim because me fear ni say time now or yes I listen ba out no the next day and the United States embassy in Accra also so echo the ambassador also can say Ghanaian student a unim now be apply for American visa now the fake document be ban they will deal with you. You didn't say much. I think so. Ghanaian applicants, visa applicant B1, B2 for visitors and the business. Wow, but kwa mano, Ghana being a problem.
It's true.
And also controversially, as Albeka once said, Ghana Nibia and as a country's room dear woman. On your very careful say, on fa investment. Shadi you. Investment support and investment technicality emerging resident permit. What is the investment? And you mean American for CBA, $1 million and $500,000 between the year investment our America edgy green card. It is a Ghana nibi yana say or kwa investment said ye be my year bina. And you Ghana nipan in the year law. What no law? And yes, what qualify? What qualify now the amount. Now we start turning around and say, Obianshan one fa investment so as I mean like I said the whole thing no a very difficult. I won't say how exactly they want to do it and as he wants to do, but on the whole no Ninyana say as a country Ibimaka Iran, Israel war, it be affect Ghana. It should not affect Ghana. Iran only Banku, Ghana only Iran only kunkunte. But what I say, but who can akusi oil so say? Only say Iran is a big player, but Israel no couldn't talk around no drink oil. Syria origin ni mu, Brunei mu nyina war around. Into onu kro moti ho a direct bimo no kra nye dede into you cannot sit here 4,000 miles away 5,000 miles away now mama su say Iran Israel war no e be create problem mama a global effect e be affect inflation but good countries no obi aye ne mra obi aye ne law wa hye ne niam ye o create no wealth say si ato oil num kra na or other shocks a otim di nya ne sika ye de ne de hi and any problem because yet me you sue COVID throughout abro wiase no obi akọ emmo COVID indi e ka se no na me ye ho kire ye wie be issue Russian Ukraine war ye se na me ye ho kire to the extent say his excellency the president Nanado eko UN in a large general assembly or see any bullet that hits on target on Ukrainian soil affects the pocket of a Ghanaian how but he didn't also say any bullet that hits on Russian soil enriches the pocket of Ghanaian. It's a lazy economic approach. And to me, Murphy said, the current government, much as they can comment about it, please and please once again, your 180 parliamentarians are because the Ghana food in support. It should not take anybody, any parliamentarian say Ghana kwa huchirim na Iran, Israel would know.
Mo be unfunctioning.
No be unfunctioning.
Mo be a politician be unfana.
Obi anu ha odi banku ho. Israel woni banku.
Okay.
Omo kono yamfa abode enkoma wo mu. Na Ghana yenye toy gun kran fa nkomo bi ni akase ye ho kire. Enti say oil dia. Usu tu oil ni bi. Ye Ghana ye part of the OPEC. Yen hunu say ye loss ni agreements ye oil no. Yen revise it. Yen review. Ni so entimia oil ni bi enye dey. Yen refine it for the use of Ghana. Now intimi into oil ni now the 1 barrel. Papa one barrel kwan yeni bi na obi tin ba bi no okwa we say na be ma ho achi no a lazy
approach
a very lazy approach.
My last question here, dollar CD no.
Yes.
No near the baby. Among for say a buy no more dembo and I'm a dollar no. A timia ba be do from a bisu say a yentokana ekoso, which is which?
Entokade.
Something okay. Israel they itokado. You say a kahona ama dollar no. I mean ebi attributed to international I mean reasons. Ebi said that be a binding ye dollar no dey a binding aye. As a diplomat, I mean,
okay. So let's look at it from that point economically.
Okay.
Ghana and Kasano, the need for dollar.
Yeah.
And shouldn't too much said you
okay.
On the street value.
Okay.
Let's look at cities by cities.
Yes.
Accra, Uncle for $2 matter. And your dollar be an uncle for $2. A man called China.
Yes.
A man called Turkey.
Yes.
A man called Dubai.
Yes.
On spare parts for on the street.
Yeah.
Kumasi dollar they need a day won't be up to $500,000, $200,000. Takrade dollar the whole takrade best circulate a day and no 50,000.
Sunya kwade bobo.
Sunya bear 4,000 Ghana. Doma the techima dollar bear. And him funny here dollar Ghana. So therefore, yeah crowd dollar na government ekojin treasury.
Yeah.
United States Treasury na yakoto dollar no ebeton no.
Yeah.
A na problem no kwa na wo any say.
Okay.
Wakoto dollar or America as a treasury. O ba beton. Into America the $100 be an demand $98 and then 97.
Yeah.
When you $3 na government wo dia ba. O ba wa ma wo bank no wa ma no 2 ono ton na wo so the one e dia ya oniama. Majority as ye musa Ghana bank a wo ton dollar de ma wo bi. Wafa CDs akọ bank ama omo de ama there be sikana ye de ma banks no Ghana government koji wa bank central bank no treasury na ekoto no America beton no oji ne de ma bankers na no omo de ama forest bureau ayifo no omo de ama black market whereas say ye wa forest bureau se wo krum ha Accra Kumasi regionally the whole country the forest bureau bbb ye musa say forest bureau ben and a government amount of dollars on fanya juma. Meanwhile, first bureau owners no, ebi wo dollar. Omu dollar na wo government no, ebi 100,000, ebi 10,000, ebi 200, ebi 30,000. And this a government no koji dollar no de ba. And what the ma forest bureau say apaka dollar politics na kan ka dollar bi eni ho. No. But forest bureau no do sika ma ban the crab ban no. And the shade botom. And I offer dollar ba na the amount bank. Bank is on $5 ne man for better than $1 ne koso. Into a small pressure seasonally. Season pressure kakra baba dollar so no escalation and then hyperinflation on the dollar. Now, the also right now say abano of course. So was topple too much of abnormal spending. Spending no koso.
Yes.
And to hear too much of a dollar.
Yes.
And then the gold board so established here. It is true say near dollar no a leaky through the Indians any the black market board borders na no ndi gold no kono. That was the one on the pressure at the better so.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because ya no matter. So turn a hakra black market no they are $2 no they are far border na chi no this can call. Indians were doing other nationals am obi ayebi.
Yeah.
And sa omo plan omo de ato wa yenia no dollar no say ye to gold 1 kilo gold $100,000 oh the London bullion price yenia nkasa Ghana government gold board no also $2 ni bi dey say also to gold ni bi and what does it mean? This is a catch obi akotun gold say the garam say a company what no we broni kra no tun gold wa ha nessa a $100,000 Dubai market na Ghana government say farmer metal $100,000 or they quite yes. So there will be a CD, there will not be need for dollar
into where the abwa pie sir
gold board no a part but then it does not mean say generally because they say no I started say a air climb
okay
because time late me buy do 10 no we didn't take measures to some extent say you bet put two measures into my Nigerians and my ECOWAS for no French for no near that the Togo has say omu ba beto dollar no eno na ma dollar no asa a wipe up.
Okay.
But the whole thing is to be able to sustenance no approach na ni say dollars na wa gin forest bureau for hall.
Yeah.
Sir President and then the government in pursue maintaining the dollar no cost there. Where say gold board on support no. On for forest bureau for them. Obi ani dey 50,000 man 25,000.
Okay.
And the forest bureau be the 25,000 a day.
Yeah. And
what they are doing forest bureau. Be pound no. Next guy was sakran 2,000. And the pressure on the dollar near him fa.
All right.
Me ba jwa dey say. And so a danka bibi a dollarization. Nipa do say what bubu asha ko tua dollar.
Dabi.
What Santa Maria would the dollar in the track? I will shoot this dollar. Dollar no him for cantonments East Legon, Airport Hills in Kwano, or no envelope nation would in the cracker. So we don't necessarily need dollar as we think we need. It is not true. What I say?
Just a few people.
Just very few. Any banks and also so any forest bureau, black marketing is the bank that makes the dollar issue being a big deal. Our Ghana say, and it's a government, it means so streamline year. Now on the inflow of the dollar no akọ forest bureau and a gold board no so no it must stop the dollar spillage because say abroad omom to gold black market no de facto go and baby the pressure beto dollar no so ha all these things my dollar need to rise.
All right.
In any case dollar no eden na yema Ghanaians eden na yema Ghanaians how many people are using dollar enti we just say abano eso oya de enti we just only pray say omo beye ebeto asosana nhihye no ama dollar no Ghana force dollar ni gina but is that the case? Answer is no, it's not dollar. We are not creating wealth as a country. I was say ye near to me hihye kwan apart from cocoa any traditional inflows and only idea here me ba jwa dey say wo ton crude oil nyina so we refine 1 barrel kwan na wo ton no Ghana ha your people will be okay with it. But what the oil ni nyina no oko 10% to the man say on gross.
No.
And drum titi scan nyina de be kan ya dem a peanut.
Ya mi shira.
On shey nyina.
Obi hia wa be danya.
Oh no.
Bibi said ni ho.
Obi hia nka jiro musa.
E ba cho ebre ne bre say o time a e beta na wa ba. Ya fa topic different enye continuous the ba anytime available.
That's why.
E ba. What be nipa messages are buying and people are learning a lot. Yamishra. Thank you for coming, bro.
Thanks for receiving me. All the best.
Okay. Abusia yanani ya homra ya ba the show continue.
So Europe and America now say this guy area ba Ghana kwade abusia send wave money transfer app na betimi aboa. So we send e dey gu mobile money wallet so and our bank account so ubetimi use this app we e dey asende. I wish I network be easy be as ubetimi e dey asende. So now first transaction no ubenya $20 free. The answer will be easy promo code JSXM2 JXXM2 we use our promo code here. Or first transaction pay and I'll be $20 free.